Hello, my loves. It is your sister Unity. I've just come back from lecturing at Loyola Marymount University, and I wanted to pass along something that I articulated to the students there in a theology class. And one of the students was asking about the blessings that I give, that I was showing how to give in the class, and how I do them and how one does them. And I wanted to pass on how you yourself can give blessings and why. My understanding from my practice of Hinduism and spirituality, as I was taught by my spiritual teacher, is that everyone and everything is made of conscious energy, of consciousness. You can call it God and or Shiva, Lakshmi, Shakti, the Force, consciousness, Brahman, the transcendent reality. It's your choice how you conceive of this, but everything is made of this vibrating, pulsating energy, which means that you are made out of it, which means that while some people, like priests and shamans and other religious figures, do receive training in very specific rituals and very specific ways of blessing according to the disciplines of their faith, nonetheless, every one of us can give our blessing. Here are the components that you need to give your blessings to anyone you choose to bless. First, the heart. You must be sincere. You must come from your heart if you can. You've got to be able to sink down into your heart, feeling the sensation of your intuitive emotion. That may take a little doing. Some people may get up in their head. They may try to think their way to the heart. Really, you just have to drop down into it and be sincere and real. Actors study doing this. Artists study doing this. How do you do it? Well, if you've got an active spiritual life, it's easier. If you've done some homework, clearing away some of the things that keep your mind preoccupied and your senses preoccupied, calming that all down, it's easier to sink down into your heart. But wherever you're at, just be sincere. When they say come from your heart, it means be real, be sincere. Have the vibe of your heart. Number two, use the fine instrument of your mind for two steps. One, get the lay of the land. Who or what are you blessing? Is it a person? Is it an event? Is it a place? Is it nature? Is it an animal? Is it a circumstance? Who is it? And then the choices you're going to make about what you say, what you do, how you express yourself will be decided by you knowing what this is for and then picking appropriately for that circumstance or that audience or that person. And then the second way you use your mind is set your intention for the blessing. What is needed? What is this for? Who needs what? What good needs to be created, generated, passed on, transmitted? What's it for? Be really clear about that and state it in simple, clear words. Keep it short. Don't go off on a long, because it dilutes the energy of the blessing. When you're being sincere, coming from the heart and being sincere, shorter is more powerful. Get right to the point. I bless my mom. May she be surrounded by grace while she heals from her operation. You got your mom, you got the circumstance, there's an operation. What is needed? Grace, healing. Say it in as few words as you can, direct and right to the point. That'll take the heart energy and the vibe from your heart and aim it like a laser beam right at who needs it. That's setting your intention for the blessing. And then the final step, pretty easy. Articulate it. Say it. Do it. Blessings aren't always only words. They could be a ritual action of some sort. But when you articulate this blessing, do it with some kind of theatricality. Theater and religion, in the earliest days, you take any History of Theater 101 course, they'll tell you, theater and religion in early human history were the same thing, the same discipline. You go to India, Indonesia these days, and you see darshan plays, and you see theater done for a religious experience, part and parcel. So use theatricality because it triggers ritual vibe, ritual headspace, ritual open-heartedness, ritual feeling in those observing and taking part in the ritual with you. Theater may involve speaking in a stylized way. Slowness sometimes captures even more attention. Use props. Use things out of the ordinary. Use something funny. Use something surprising. Use something unexpected. Use something colorful. Use something that triggers people and puts them in the headspace of the ritual you're trying to design. A healing ritual? Maybe green plants, because we think of life when we see green plants. That is associated with healing. So as you're articulating this healing about your mother, healing from her operation, maybe you surround her or you wave at her or something with green plants. Green is a bright color, a festive color. That's theatrical. And you're doing something out of the ordinary with the plant. Usually plant just sits there or you eat it. But you're waving it or using it in some ritually theatrical way. That's out of the ordinary. That tricks their head. Be surprising and a little mysterious and a little confounding helps a lot because you trick the intellectual mind of the people receiving the blessing into getting out of the way, and it goes right into their intuition. And it gets your mind out of the way and helps you come from your intuition. So, articulate your blessing with some theatricality that steps outside of normal everyday behavior. That's a three-parter for performing your blessing. Articulate it in a theatrical way that is outside of normal expectation, normal behavior. So now you can do a ritual. You can do a blessing. What is it again? Come from your heart, sincerely. Know who this is for, what this is for, what's the circumstance around the doing of the blessing that needs a blessing. And then set your intention for the blessing. The blessing is for this, specifically, clearly. Then articulate your blessing using theatricality that is outside the norms of expectation, normal everyday thinking. That's how you can make your blessing or make a ritual, in a nutshell. But you know it can be even simpler than that. Maya Angelou, at the end of President Clinton's first inauguration, read a beautiful poem, and at the end, about America and about us living in America, although it applies to everyone, everywhere. And she said at the very end of the poem, if you are walking down the street and you see your fellow American walking towards you, look them in the eye and say, "Good morning." I tried this, and it changed my experience of being in my city. Los Angeles, second biggest city in the United States. Could be hustly, bustly, frenzied. It brought warmth and sunshine to my experience of my city and the people in it when I just said to them in passing, "Good morning." This was a ritual. It was a blessing. I'm giving them a smile. I'm giving them a wish that their morning goes well. Isn't that pleasant? Isn't that nice? It's good to give someone nice. That's giving a blessing. Try it. Don't take my word for it. Experiment yourself. See if it changes something in you, something in them, something in the air. Kindness is always a blessing. Pour them a glass of water. Help them clean. Help them walk to the car. Notice that they're wearing some new clothes. Tell them how nice the clothes look. Reinforce their pride in their own self-esteem, in their own well-being. Be kind to someone, with words or deeds. That is delivering a blessing. You are made out of the vibrant, love-filled consciousness that has made the universe. That gives you every right and plenty of power to give your blessings. You are a human being. You cannot be evil or ugly because you are real. Granted, you are, of course, not evil. I mean, there are evil people. But just because you are real means you have what it takes to offer your blessings. So try it. Maybe it'll feel corny and embarrassing or dry at first. But remember what Sister Unity always says. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly at first. So stick to it, keep trying it, and see what happens as you offer your blessings to people, nature, animals, places, wherever you are inspired to offer your blessings.